hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You want it raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because it does make her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
All right, and we are back with another edition of Pop's Takes right here on Backwoods Veterans Media. As always, I am J-Dub, and joining with me once again is the old man, Don, Pops himself. Good evening, sir.
Good evening to everybody, including you.
Right, and be sure to head over and check out our website of backwoodsvets.com for everything that we have going on over there. You can catch up on all your favorite shows, and be sure to hit up that raffle that we have going on over there, benefiting our friends from over there at the Fallen Outdoors. That Vortex Impact 850 rangefinder, a $200 value. Tickets are $10 a piece over there exclusively at backwoodsvets.com. And so with that being said, Pops, what's going on? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Been busy, awful busy here lately.
Oh, yeah.
And I do apologize to all of our listeners out there about the confusions on your times and all that. We've been so busy. We're putting up new fencing and everything else.
Yeah, it's been kind of chaotic to say the least. And the reason why we're late getting on tonight is because we actually have a new addition in the barn that hit the ground over the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to get the mare, the new mother and baby out, trying to get a new halter on the baby, but unfortunately don't have one that fits. So hey, if anyone has a full halter, hey, get in touch with us here and let us know. We could use one.
We'll get one sooner or later.
Eventually.
We want to get one on that little filly as soon as we can. But I'll tell you what, you talk about a Mother's Day gift.
Right.
Mom got her Mother's Day gift this year just a little bit early.
A day early.
Less than
24 hours.
Yeah, about 14, 16 hours, something like that.
Well, but it was between 4 and 6 in the morning, we're guessing. It was when that foal hit the ground. So
it could be up to 20 hours early, but it was right there.
By God, it was. So,
and she's a pretty happy camper with it. It's a beautiful little foal. She's going to be a real looker. I'll tell you that right now. And she's really going to be a pacer and prancer out there. And
I believe it. Well,
she's going to look good.
Well, she's half Tennessee Walker. The stud was full Tennessee Walker.
Right.
Triple registered.
Yeah. And then the mother was a Morgan and
Appaloosa.
No, her mother was a Morgan. Her dad was an Appaloosa.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the mother was both, but she's not. She was a purebred Morgan.
Well, yeah. Sonoa's mom,
yes,
is Morgan,
and her dad.
Sonoa's father was Appaloosa,
right?
So therefore, that would make Sonoa Morgan and Appaloosa.
Yep,
that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay,
I was talking about Sonoa. I wasn't talking.
Hey, I got to tell you, I'm getting confused around here. Okay, everything going on.
There's been a whole lot of that going on around. Well, so, Nick Calise, welcome. Do appreciate you checking in, buddy.
Hey, sorry to be so late here, guys, but welcome, and we sure appreciate you coming in and listening, making your comments. And I got a couple things on my mind tonight. I just was going to talk to you a little bit about.
Yeah, what's going on?
Okay. Well, one of them, the first thing I wanted to talk about, we'll talk about the school thing later, but right now I want to talk about what some of our representatives in the different states are saying. Our liberal Democrats are telling me. I mean, I actually heard one on the TV, a representative from a state of Missouri. I believe that's where she was from.
Okay.
Missouri. Before Mother's Day, said that it was wrong to call mothers mother.
What?
They are birthing people.
Last I checked, that was what you called a mother. It's mom.
That's. I mean,
what more does there need to be said?
I guess what I'm trying to say is that this political correctness. Well, they said it's downgrading to LGBTQ or whatever it is.
It's degrading to the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
How?
Because
if you're a mom, you're a mom.
I just
mother is synonymous with mom.
Well, you know, they talk about all this with these people. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're people that don't want responsibility of being a parent. So they get their fun without the problem of getting pregnant or something.
Oh, my goodness almighty.
That's just about what they are.
This is just past ridiculous.
Yeah,
Past it.
But all this stuff with this political correctness has gotten completely out of hand. They're not, I mean, you're not supposed to say anything to anybody about anything. I mean, you know, everything is racist or it's politically incorrect or it's against this one or against that one.
You know what it is? This all started back in the 90s. I want you to know this.
Well,
this all started during the Clinton years.
Yeah.
This is when the whole PC movement
took
hold. It has just progressively gotten worse and worse and worse.
Well, it's
and over the last 13, 14 years, 15 years, oh my God, it has gotten way out of control.
Well, I thought it was out of control before this, but man, what it is now.
Nick, yeah, I will agree with you, sir. Too many snowflakes. Yeah. Everyone's a winner.
You're either politically incorrect or you're a racist. Now, you know, when I was a kid growing up in school, we never even thought about, we had not necessarily colored kids, but kids of different, we had some blacks, some Asians, some Spanish, Hispanic. We had all kinds of them.
Right.
And all the way up through my military career and everything else. And we never thought about what they were, what the color they were. All we worried about was, how are you as a person? Well, yeah,
because when the metal hits the meat, freaking the color of your hide don't mean 2 cents.
Well, let me tell you something. The people that I went to school with and everything, and it was no fancy school or anything else, just Westland High School up here. And grade school in Gladstone, in fact, we had to go all the way from the 1st to the 8th grade in a grade school.
Westland. Whatever.
Well, you know, all my kids went to Oregon City.
Yes, we did. Sorry, proud pioneers.
Poor kids. I feel sorry for them.
Listen here. Just because Westland's all the rich boys now.
Yeah, it is. It's changed over. It's all mainly professional ball players, children and stuff that live over in that area.
Yeah.
And but they're doing well.
Anyhow,
what I'm saying, I guess, is we never thought about what you were, except what you had become from your own initiative or your own efforts.
Right.
Nobody gave anybody anything. Them kids got in just like we did to earn our grades, and if you didn't earn it, you didn't get it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no two ways about it, really.
I mean, look at supposedly all of our sports people say that, you know, that they figure that blacker people or the colored people or whatever are more efficient at it than a lot of the white people. Well, let me tell you something. They got that way because they made the effort to get that way.
Yeah.
You don't get that way. You're not giving it, it's just giving it to you.
I mean, there's certain natural ability.
Right.
But natural ability only takes you so far.
Exactly.
You have to put in the work and the time, excuse me, and the effort and the training and the practice in order to get good, in order to hone your craft, whatever that may be. By the way, Dean, good seeing you checking in, buddy. But, you know, that's what it boils down to.
Well, yeah, this nowadays it's just everything is racist, and I don't believe that. I believe that these people, I shouldn't give them anything. They didn't give me anything.
Nope.
I didn't take anything from them.
No.
The only thing I did was I watched them do their effort, make their effort to do what they wanted to do. Now, anybody, I don't care what color or what race you are or whatever, you're still an American.
By God.
And Americans, if you put forth the effort or we could before this new establishment got in, the new administration. You got what you earn. Now they take it away from you so they can give it to somebody that doesn't want to earn it.
Exactly. So Nick Lease chimes in. He says, not about what you look like, it's about what you did. We all bleed red. Army here, never seen this hogwash. They're talking about morals and values on the inside, not about why you look like. And you know what? That's exactly right.
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
Yep.
And
nailed it on the head, Nick.
I guess I just saying that I'm awful sick of hearing all of it because I don't believe it. I don't believe that. Look at the schools. They're teaching these kids, if you're white, you're no good. You're a bad person right off the bat before you even get into do anything. You're just
it's ridiculous,
and that makes me furious. My kids, my grandkids, and my great grandkids have all been taught that you are what you make yourself of, and if you put forth the effort, I don't care what it is. If you put forth the effort to be the best, you may not be the best in the world, but you'll be the best that you can be. And that's the most important thing that can happen. And I just,
you may or may not get a trophy out of it. Who knows? It just depends on the other guy.
Well, you're going to get some kind of trophy in one way or another. I mean, just the success at what you're endeavoring at.
It may be something to hang on the mantle there in the house above the fireplace.
Or it may be in your mind or your head.
I was going to say, or maybe beer with the old man afterwards, say, well, you gave her the old one too, son. We're proud of you for doing your best, but unfortunately there's no trophy for second place.
Well, you know what? We've always said that there was a trophy for second place. Whenever we were working with kids, we always gave a second place trophy.
Well, see, that's the problem right there. You gave second place trophies.
Well, you gave first place and second place and all the way down to sixth and seventh and eighth place.
Well, there's a difference between ribbons and 4-H, and we're when you're actually going out and competing in sports and things like that, But I get what you're saying. So exactly, Nick. If you lose, you learn from it.
Right.
I mean, that's all there is to it. You figure out what you got to do. You go back to the drawing board and do what you got to do to get better.
Exactly. Well, that's what it's all about.
And what is on the outside here don't mean diddly squat.
If somebody comes in and gives you everything, you're not learning a thing.
No.
When you get if that person's gone or that whatever is giving you that thing is gone, what happens? At the end of it, you're nothing. You got nothing. You don't belong to anything. You can't do anything because you never learned how to do anything because everything was given to you.
Yeah.
And I tell you can see that in some spoiled rich kids over the years, that and parents, a lot of times what happens is parents have had a real rough time growing up themselves. And
Dean, he said, Bob was like, hell, so that was high when I said that. There's second place, third place, etc. Oh, that's funny.
I got to tell you, if you were eighth place one time, you worked at it and you learned how to do better and everything. And then as you got more experience in that particular thing, you worked your way all the way up into the first place class.
My God, it's what you had to do.
And if you remember right, we didn't give just one first place. It was a group, the best. You had a certain level, just like in school, you had a certain percentage that you had to do to get the number one place.
Oh, to advance, yeah. And then you go for the whole gusto at the top.
Right.
Well, yeah, naturally.
So, it's kids have to be able to know that you're for them and that you support them all the way in what they want to do and that they can learn to do the best that they can at what they want to do.
Absolutely.
And I'm so sick of hearing this. Well, you're no good because you're white, or you're pushed down or depressed because you're black or you're brown, or I mean, look, now they're talking about Asians are getting beat up by black people. What's going on in this world?
Well, I don't know who's doing it.
Well,
honestly, Nick, we are located out of Oregon City, Oregon. So we're actually about a half hour southeast of the Portland area. So, and to answer your question, So yes, there are conservatives up here in the Northwest.
There's a lot of us.
Yeah,
And
Oregon is not Portland. I will tell you that right now. And Washington is not Seattle. We both will tell you that right now.
exactly.
So say there's a reason we say keep Portland out of our Oregon.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
It's a place all its own, I guess you might say.
Havana on the Willamette. What?
No closer than we are to it, or as close as we are to it. I don't even go to Portland anymore unless I absolutely have to do that.
He's like New York here. I feel your pain.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Hey, by the way, if you're from New York, you're welcome for the ventilators. Yeah, we sent you those. Oh my goodness. But seriously though, I mean,
we'll come out of it. I've seen over the years, I've been around a lot of years. I've been through some of the major epidemics and all that. I mean, let's face it, I was born in just before World War II.
Sorry, run that last part by me one more time. I missed that.
I was born just before World War II in 1940.
Yeah. World War II was already going on. You were born before America's involvement in World War II.
Right. It hadn't become a world war because we weren't in it yet. Okay?
It's not a full party until the champs show up,
right,
baby.
Exactly. Anyhow, so that's how long I've been around and been through all this stuff, watching it and seeing what's happened, and been through a lot of different administrations with a lot of different philosophies and everything like this. And this is the first time I've seen it where it's actually people trying to destroy our country.
And what's bad to watch is from the inside out. Exactly. Unfortunately.
Yes.
So, and it's sad to say because for the longest time, everybody has said, well, you want to prevent something like this, get to the voting booth. Get to the voting booth. That is the best way to a point, I agree. But with how bad it's gotten, I'm afraid that things are going to take that next step farther. And I don't want to see it. I know you don't want to see it.
What bothers me is the fact that
it's been so spun around. It's insane.
We've become so dependent on technical electronics and stuff like that, your computers and all that kind of stuff. We're so dependent on it now, and that's what's running your elections. And just like tonight when we were getting ready to have the show on before 6:00.
Yeah.
And you had problems with your computer. It wouldn't work.
Yeah. Had to fix it.
How many of them machines that you vote on or do the vote counting?
Oh, that's a dead horse that's been beaten God knows how many times.
Well, I heard something today on the news.
Which, by the way, Richie, welcome. Miss Harmony, good to see you checking in. Hello. She's a neighbor from right up the street, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, good to see all you guys all checking in. Appreciate it. So, yeah, go ahead, Pop. Sorry for interrupting.
Well, that's okay. It's I heard today, though, they were talking about this, all this machines and their voting and all that kind of stuff and the problems. And the guy says, well, I says, if you go to a casino and they're counting money in the hundreds of thousands of dollars or the thousands of dollars, and you go the casino boss, or what do they call those?
The pit boss?
Pit bosses will want to check and make sure that your count is right on the money when it's large amounts, especially, and they'll ask you if you've counted it, and the guy says, well, the machine has counted it for me. And a pit boss will tell you to get out the money and count it yourself.
Oh, yeah. Every time.
Manually count it. So even those where you're at casinos and everything where they depend on this for their money and their livelihood.
Yeah.
They still check them and have to make sure that they're.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Count checked. They're not anything. It's man-made, so anything can happen to make it have a glitch in it. Just like your computer tonight had a glitch and we weren't able to do on time.
I was ready to throw this thing out the window. I'm not going to lie.
But it's just, you have to fact check everything on everything because now I'm not saying computers are bad or anything that they're always wrong. I'm saying, but they can get a glitch in them.
I tell you what, this Nick guy's been on the money tonight. Says, my question, they can figure out who to send a stimulus check to. Everyone can do taxes, et cetera, but can't figure out how to count a vote. Yeah. I don't think it's so much as they can't count. It's the fact that
how to count it.
Yeah, they just figure out a way to fix some of the counts, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens with this audit down in Arizona. How many more doors that's going to open once that's done and complete here coming up here. What is it? They're saying by what, June 15th?
Something like that.
Is when they're saying that should be done and wrapped up.
15th or 16th, right in that area. But yeah, there's a lot of this stuff going on that we're starting to hear about, and they're trying to make sure everything's squared away before the 22 election. And look what happened in Texas. I guess that starting to tell these people that we've had enough.
Oh yeah, hands down.
And people they're just fed up. They feel like they've been lied to. I mean, how many people did you hear say?
Feel like? We know we've been lied to.
Well, how many people have you heard say?
And it's sad to say on both sides. I got to keep it objective here, but it's been on both sides.
Yes, I'm talking about across the board. How many people have you heard say that they didn't know that before they voted?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people that said that.
All the things that got kept hidden from the majority of the people
until after the election was over.
Exactly.
But the funny thing is that a lot of that stuff had been brought out and brought to light before the election itself, before the general election.
Yes, exactly. But it was brought out, okay.
And then swept under the rug.
Well, not necessarily swept under the rug, but places like say Fox News, things they brought out a lot of stuff that they had checked in.
Right.
But a lot of people don't listen to Fox News. That's a conservative station, okay?
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
So they're listening to all the others, ABC, NBC, all of
the rest of mainstream
liberals.
Right.
And they're listening to that, and they hear that, and that's all they hear.
So, they don't want to listen to both sides. Now, and here's the thing about when you look at news organizations that are conservative, a lot of people will look at it as just, they think that Fox News is the only one that's out there. No, there's not. There's
what's that new one?
There's One America. That's a newer one.
Yeah, Newsy.
News America is another one. There's a few different ones that are out there. Yeah, and the thing is, people just have to go out and look. And what it boils down to is do the research, do the digging, think independently. Don't just feed off of what the media wants you to hear. Because exactly. I will tell you folks this right now. I will tell you folks this at home, as not just as a podcaster, but as the owner of a media outlet. We will tell you folks what we want you to hear. You heard it here first. No lies, no straight up. Now, the thing about it is at least here on this network, on this station, we will give you everything that we have.
Exactly.
We will give you everything you have and allow you folks to make your own decision. Straight up. That's how it is. That's how journalism is supposed to be. What it is now through the most of mainstream media is anything but. And that is the sad thing about it. It truly is. And that's the biggest thing is folks don't want to, they don't want to do the research. They want it all just given to them, and they don't want to work for it and actually research things. And we're starting to see the results of that now. Well, I can't say starting to. We have been. Right. I would probably say over the last 2 election cycles.
But you have to remember something, Justin, when you say that people believe the media or listen to the media all the time and everything. We do, but we've learned to sort out the different things and get facts over fiction. But a lot of these people, especially in the older generation and stuff like that, they never had this problem before for years. I mean, up until last, 10, 15 years, you could depend on what they put in the paper or on the news or something was fact checked, and it was correct. Now,
Honestly, I think it's been longer than that.
well, it could be longer than that, but there's so many people were used to, the older generation was used to hearing the honest part of it, the straight part of it.
Yeah.
And now,
Walter Cronkites of the world are no more.
exactly.
And that's sad.
No more. It's, they're not broadcasting what is news. They're broadcasting their opinions, or they're broadcasting their what they want. They're wanting you to believe certain things, and that's what they're going to give you news. Say that that's news when it's not.
Right.
But let's face it. We try and give our opinions a lot too. I do anyhow. That's my whole thing about my show, I guess.
Well, I would say this is your show, so yeah. There's a reason why it's called Pop Steaks, right over, right there.
And I guess
right there.
Yeah, they're just just my opinions that I've developed over the years and the years I've been around, and the family I grew up with, and the family I have now, and let's face it, it's been quite a process getting to this point. In fact, it was kind of funny about how I was in the hospital here last summer, right?
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of this stuff was going on with the news and everything before election and everything like that.
By the way, when he went in the hospital for a short visit and then wound up having a lot of in-home care for about 2-3 weeks after that?
2.5 weeks.
Yeah. Non-COVID related.
No,
all right. It had nothing to do with the Rona.
No, just old age and the old ticker and lungs just kind of getting bad. But they've had a workout over the 80 years I've been around.
You think?
Been there, done a lot of it.
Yeah.
Misused it. But when you're young, all that stuff that you go through, you think you're indispensable or indestructible.
Dean, I'm going to have to look into that. His comment here, he was just like, with the Truth in Reporting Act, he said it was either Nixon or Reagan that got rid of the Truth in Reporting Act that created a 24 hours news cycle. I don't think it was so much as that it created the 24 news cycle. I think it was just it created the quote unquote, as we come to know as fake news now. So, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have to dig into that and find out.
Well, news has changed from what it was before. It took time to get the news to you.
Right.
I mean, even during NAM, they were getting pictures back here of what was going on the minute it was going on. And when you get back to World War II and even in early Korea, news would happen one day over there, and they wouldn't get it in the States. They wouldn't get that news for maybe 2 or 3 days.
Right.
But it's with the new technologies and everything we have now, it's changed quite a bit. But
indeed. So I know I'm getting a bunch of different information. I know the act was enacted in 1949. That's one thing I was able to figure out. So hang on. It says step back a little. People paid for Drama Nation, Inquirer, et cetera, say all the tabloids. So the big news stations follow. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened. So, I mean, it's the Truth in Reporting Act was originally filed and put together and enacted in 1949. As far as when it was rescinded, it's looking like it was sometime during the Reagan years on forward. So, still working on that one. As soon as I have a better answer, I will actually find the link, Dean, and I will send that to you.
But you think about it, when TV came out,
and
pretty soon they were getting all this news all the time on TV. By the time everybody had a TV in their home, after a few years, after that, people could even quit buying newspapers because you could flip on the TV and get it on the news.
Instant gratification.
Exactly. And you didn't have to go pay for a newspaper or anything else. It was free once you got your TV going. Everything, that was all on free TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So then you didn't have to pay for it. So you just quit taking a newspaper.
Yeah.
Well, then the newspapers had to start printing sensationalism stuff and everything else, trying to get their customers back.
Yep, trying to figure something out. Well, you know, it's like you said, video killed the radio star. I'm just saying. You know, there's enough of us out here between this network and some of our other networks that we work with. Radio. You know, we have faces for radio versus video. So
anyhow, those are basically what I had to say tonight. I hope that it made some sense to people. But
absolutely. So anyhow, guys, that's going to do it for us. We're going to go ahead and wrap this thing on up. So, Pop, say last words of wisdom for the week.
Just keep an eye on your kids and see how they're getting taught, and make sure that they're taught that they are worth something. That just if you're white or black or whatever, you're not bad or anything else. You're just another person growing up, and what you are is what you do. Okay, so hang in there and give your kids lots of support. That's all I got to say.
All righty.
Thank you much for listening tonight.
Well, we appreciate you guys all tuning in and hanging out with us. We will catch you guys right back here next week for another edition of Pop Stakes next Monday night, right here on Backwoods Veterans Media. And both here are live on Facebook and our YouTube channel, which, by the way, head over. It's still going on. Yeah, we still have that thing. So go over, click the subscribe button, click that bell. So that way you know when we go live with new content here on our channel. So in the meantime, that's going to do it for us. Be sure to check our Facebook, or not our Facebook page, or our website, backwoodsvets.com. Go get your raffle tickets for that rangefinder benefiting our friends over at the Fallen Outdoors. Drawing for that will be done live on BB Nation Radio on Sunday, June 27th. So be sure to tune in for that one as well. So in the meantime, have a good one, guys. We will talk to you all later. Have a good night.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
all. Good night, all.